Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lynn. If not, welcome back. For today's video, we're going to be talking about my fastest growing Hoyas. So if that sounds exciting to you, keep on watching. Okay, I'm going to be very real with you. I don't tend to keep Hoyas that are very slow growing in my collection unless they look really special in some way. Like for example, the Gunung Gading Ghost or one of my other slow-growing Hoyas, the Fabaceae Splash, and all of my different Callistophylla variants. So the things I'm going to be sharing with you today in this video is by no means exhaustive. I actually think that most plants in my collection are pretty fast-growing. But without further ado, let's check out the first plant. So this is my first Hoya. This is the Hoya Snow Kiwi Splash. This is an incredibly fast-growing Hoya. If you want a more expensive version of this, go for the Hoya Snow Kiwi Silver. I do have some full silver leaves down here, as you can see, but this is one plant that does revert. So before you buy the Snow Kiwi Silver, just know that it does have a tendency to revert. That said, if you want a Snow Kiwi specimen like this one that has really nice splashing, you do have to start off with a good specimen with a high amount of splashing to begin with, and then provide it with the right conditions, and then you'll grow looking like this. So my Snow Kiwi Splash is going in a cup of full lacquer balls. It's incredibly easygoing. It gets, I would say, pretty bright light. The leaves come in dark purple at first, and then they lighten to like a normal green. And I wouldn't say there's anything super special about this Hoya, to be honest, but it is incredibly fast growing. Like honestly, I am always racing to trellis this, to like chop it down, and it's just like growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. So if you're looking for something that's very fast growing and very rewarding to grow, I think the Hoya Snow Kiwi Splash is a good specimen to grow. The second Hoya that I'll be showing you today is the Hoya Parasitica Black Margin, but I think it's now relabeled as Hoya Verticillata Black Margin. But yeah, this is an incredibly beautiful Hoya. The leaves come out like kind of like heart-shaped. They have a very light abbing, so like abs, you know how like when we talk about Hoyas, can you see like those abs? Very light indentation. It's not like a heavy abby plant, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's very easy to grow. If you want a fancier version of this Hoya, go for the Black Margin Splash, and that's going to be more expensive. But I think the regular one with the light amount of splashing is already very beautiful. It's lush. I can barely keep up with it. It's always just like growing out new vines, and I'm constantly cutting it back just to keep it to this pot and this trellis. So this is an incredibly fast growing, affordable, beautiful Hoya if you want something that is rewarding to grow. My Verticillata Black Margin is growing in a self-watering pot in my loose chunky soil mix, and yeah, it's just so easygoing and so fast growing. So if you give this Hoya really bright light, this is probably one of those Hoyas that would do well in an outdoor setting. If you give it really bright light, it does develop like a darker black margin around the edge of the green leaf, and I think it's very beautiful. The next Hoya I'm showing you today is my Hoya Macrophylla Elbow, or it's now relabeled to Latifolia Elbow. And this is the cheaper Hoya Latifolia Elbow. If you're looking for like the more expensive one, I think it's now labeled as Hoya Latifolia Elbow Round Leaf, and that's going to give you that classic dinner plate look. So this is a completely different leaf shape, and it's long, it's lanceolate, and comes to a nice little point. The elbow variegation never reverts on me, and I think this is a beautiful Hoya. Like, it's incredibly easygoing, very fast growing. Just look at that. Like, you want veins, you got veins. It has some light splashing. The variegation is beautiful, and it's just a sight to behold. Like, it's beautiful. This is definitely one of the cheaper Hoyas you can buy on this list, and I have seen this sold in a big box store like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, various nurseries. I got mine from a nursery in Lawrence, Kansas. That's how I came to this plant and this specimen in particular. But yeah, you can really get this. It's really easy to find. And if you live somewhere with a ton of like other plant hobbyists like myself, on Facebook Marketplace, you can probably find a cutting for this for less than $5, I'm pretty sure. So go ask around and I bet you can find someone who has this plant. If you live somewhere sizable with quite a lot of people who collect Hoyas, I think. Yeah. But mine is growing in not a self-watering pot. This is just a regular opaque plant pot. And it's growing in my loose chunky soil mix on a trellis, and I'm constantly cutting this Hoya back just to keep it to this pot and keep it to this trellis. But as you can see, it's very, very fast growing. And if you're looking for variegated big leaf Hoya, this is definitely one that I would highly recommend. So yeah. The next Hoya I have on this list is my Hoya Pandurata Silver. That's definitely a cheaper version of this. Go for the Hoya Pandurata Splash or just a regular Hoya Pandurata. That's going to be way cheaper than the silver. And to be fair, I wouldn't call this like a true silver. It's more like a mint. But it is a beautiful, beautiful Hoya. Like the way it grows and the leaf shape and the leaf, I don't know, just the general look of the Hoya is very different from a lot of the other Hoyas that we usually see. This grows out in like a bush-like pattern. It doesn't really need a trellis because the stems are really, really thick. But beware, if you get this Hoya, A, it's gonna grow really fast, and B, it does take up a lot of space because it's gonna bush out, basically. So yeah, this is a beautiful Hoya. Mine is growing in a full pot of lacquer balls, and it's been doing really well in this. But before I transferred this to this semi-hydro setup, I was growing it in a loose chunky soil mix, and it also did really well. So you do have options with this one. It needs really bright light, otherwise it can revert. So like this is a reverted strand, as you can see, but I think it's beautiful to have some variation in the pot. So I don't trim it back, kind of encourage it to keep going. But yeah, beautiful Hoya, highly recommend. Here's the next Hoya I have on the list. It is an incredibly fast growing Hoya. I'm gonna attempt to find photos of all of my Hoyas, like the beginning of what it looked like, and put them on the screen as we go. But yeah, this is an incredibly beautiful Hoya. It is the Hoya Denisii Frida. Has inner variegation, as you can see. It is very, very fast growing, and it 100% needs a trellis. It is also very fast blooming. So as you can see, I have one peduncle here. I have another one in the back. I have two more growing. Fast blooming, fast grower. It is, however, susceptible to spider mites. The leaves are very fine and they're very soft, and I think spider mites just love it. So just FYI, if you are planning to get this plant, it is susceptible to spider mites, but other than that, it's a great Hoya to collect. It's beautiful. It's definitely on the pricier side, and I think it's a little bit harder to source than the other Hoyas I've been talking about and showing you so far. But if you're willing to go find it from someone who sells it online or on Etsy or on Facebook Marketplace, I will highly recommend this Hoya. Mine's growing in a full semi-hydro like a ball setup, and it's been loving it. So yeah, highly recommend. And obviously I need to mention the Hoya Wilbur Graves splashes, like all of its different variants. This is the Russia. It has thicker, rounder, chubbier leaves, and this is the China. It has longer, thinner leaves. But both of them are incredibly fast growers, as you can see. I'm constantly trying to prune them back to keep them within the same trellis. I think for the Wilbur Graves splashes, a circle trellis might be a great idea because you can just keep going round and round and round versus like a longer, taller trellis like this one. But I cannot recommend it enough. Both of them are growing in loose, chunky soil mix. They are incredibly easy growing. They are very, very easy to grow. My only tip, and I've mentioned this so many times on my channel now, make sure you choose a specimen with a good amount of splashing. Give it really bright light and your specimen is gonna really pay off for you. But yeah, here's the next recommendation. Okay, and I think I talked about this Hoya pretty frequently, like maybe 2 months ago-ish. But this is the Hoya Lei No ID, or like some people like to call it the Hoya Sichuanensis. People have been trying to convince me that they are the same thing, but I had the Sichuanensis. It did not look like the Hoya No ID, I'm not gonna lie. But some people's Hoya Sichuanensis looks exactly like the Hoya No ID. So I don't know, maybe I got something that was mislabeled. I have no idea. But they did share like the exact same leaf shape and leaf texture. The only thing that was different was the veination. So this is a beautiful Hoya. It's definitely gonna be a little bit harder to source compared to the other Hoyas on this list. You can usually find it online, or if you're in active plant community, you can probably find it on Facebook Marketplace and you can probably get a cutting of it. But this is incredibly fast growing. I will share a picture of what it used to look like on the screen somewhere, but it is growing. Mine is growing in a full semi-hydro setup in bonsai rocks, pond, and lacquer balls. And it's on a circle trellis because it really needs a trellis to leaf up. If you don't give it a trellis, it's just going to keep vining. So this one really needs a trellis, and I think it looks beautiful on a circle trellis, as you can see. It is also one of the fastest blooming Hoyas I have in my collection. However, the blooms are very, very pungent. Not a good way. So if you don't mind the blooms, or like if you don't like the blooms, just cut it off, because the foliage is just so beautiful. And the leaves are very fuzzy, they're really soft, and I just love this Hoya so much. It's a great, great, great fast growing Hoya, and I cannot recommend it enough. The very last Hoya I want to talk about are my Hoya obscuras, basically. My Hoya obscura cryptic chrome is what I have now in my hand. It is an incredibly fast growing Hoya. It's beautiful, it's silver, it sun stresses, and it just bushes out like crazy. This is an insane Hoya to grow, and I will find the original cutting and put it on the screen somewhere, but look at that. It's just an incredible Hoya. The Hoya Obscura Cryptic Chrome and the Hoya Obscura Silver both are incredibly fast growers for me, and I would highly recommend both. Obviously, the Cryptic Chrome is going to be way more expensive compared to Obscura Silver. I have personally never grown the regular Hoya Obscura, just the plain green one, so I have no idea what the rate of growth is for that, but I will assume that it's pretty fast. But yeah, this is an incredible Hoya, and I cannot recommend it enough. Mine's growing in just a loose chunky soil mix, and it's on a trellis, and this one, I will say, needs a sturdier trellis. So like my regular, if you've been watching my videos for a long time, my regular wire braided trellis is too weak for this Hoya because the leaves are very heavy, the stem is very thick. This one needs like a proper plastic or like a bamboo trellis. If not, it will topple over. So it's a very, very heavy Hoya, but yeah, beautiful. I cannot recommend this one enough. Honestly, that brings me to the end of the video, but I have to say, there are so many other Hoyas in my collection that are also very fast growing. Like honorable mentions to the Hoya Chinghongjensis, incredibly fast grower, my Hoya lacunosa mint, my Hoya lacunosa tricolor, all of my polyneurias are very, very, very fast growers. So there are just so many fast growing Hoyas, and honestly, like Hoya carnosa, Crimson Queen, Crimson Princess, the Matildes, the Hoya serpents, I've showed all of those like in last week's video, and all of them are fast growing. So you have so many options when it comes to fast growing Hoyas. I would love to hear your fast growing Hoya species or varieties that you enjoy and love in your collection, or that you're hoping to collect one day. Comment down below and let me know. I would love to interact with all of you. And that brings me to the end of today's video. If you love the content, please give it a like. I would highly appreciate it. Please also subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and then like I said, comment down below. I'll see you next time. Bye.